So, you're thinking about buying a home in 2026. Then you're probably wrestling with that one big question. How much house can I actually afford? Well, let me tell you, the old rules of thumb, they're totally broken. Today, we're going to dive into a new, smarter way to figure it all out, one that really cuts through the noise of this totally changed market. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's start with the big problem. The housing market has basically gotten a complete operating system upgrade. But a lot of us, we're still trying to run ancient software on it. And this isn't just, a little inconvenient, it's a recipe for financial disaster. So I've got a question for you, a direct one. That simple little mortgage calculator you find on your bank's website, is it really built for the way things are in 2026? Or is it just running on some really old, outdated assumptions? Because relying on yesterday's math for what is probably the biggest decision of your life, that's a huge gamble.
And here's the real heart of the issue. Those traditional calculators, they're like trying to use a sledgehammer for a job that needs a scalpel. They often just completely ignore how your income, your specific debts, and those super local costs like property taxes all play together. And those taxes can be wildly different from one town to the next. This creates massive blind spots. And believe me, those blind spots create some very real financial risk.
So what's changed so dramatically? Well, real estate economists are actually calling this moment the Great Housing Reset. It's a fundamental shift, a real turning point that changes the entire affordability equation. Let's break down exactly what that means for you.
Now this right here, this is the single biggest economic shift we've seen in a long, long time. For the first time since the Great Financial Crisis, wages are actually growing faster than home prices. After years of a crazy red-hot market, prices are finally cooling off, while the job market has kept our paychecks growing. This flip is the foundation of this whole new affordability landscape.
And to put a number on it, analysts are predicting that the median home price will only go up by about 1.5% this year, just 1.5%. Now, think about it. If your salary is growing at, say, 3 or 4%, that means homes are actually getting cheaper for you in real terms. Your buying power is literally increasing. This whole shift is also unlocking more houses. In early 2026, affordable listings, the ones you're actually looking for, now make up over 40% of all the homes on the market. That severe shortage we saw for years, it's finally easing up, which gives you, the buyer, way more options and a lot more power.
So, what does this all add up to? Well, it adds up to a powerful new number. Right now, a household with a median income can safely afford a home priced at $331,483. That is a massive $30,000 jump in buying power compared to just last year.
This table really just lays out the Great Housing Reset in black and white. Just look at the shift in every single row. The power dynamic has completely flipped from sellers to buyers. The scarcity that defined the market forever is easing. And the most important part, that ceiling on what you could afford has been totally smashed. It's a different game now. And that's exactly why you need a different strategy.
Okay, so since the market's rules have changed, the tools we use have to change too. They have to evolve. This new environment, it really demands a smarter approach. One that's driven by data to cut through all the complexity and give you a really clear, really accurate picture.
So, how does a modern calculator do this? Well, unlike the simple ones, it crunches thousands of data points. We're talking real-time, local wage trends, county-specific tax rates, and even projections for future interest rates. It gives you a number that isn't just a snapshot of today, but a forecast of your true buying power.
All right, let's get practical. To really get the most out of a tool like this, you can't just guess. You need to do a quick, 3-step financial audit on yourself. This is how you feed the system the precise data it needs to spit out an accurate result for you.
But before we jump into the steps, we have to get clear on one super important term: debt-to-income ratio, or DTI. It sounds complicated, but it's simple. It's just the percentage of your gross monthly income, that's your pay before taxes, that goes toward paying all your monthly debts, car loans, credit cards, you name it. This number is absolutely critical.
So here they are, the 3 essential inputs. First, your total annual income, and be precise, no guessing. Second, your total monthly debt payments, and I mean everything: car loans, student debt, the works. These two together, that's what's going to determine your DTI. But the third step, this is the one most simple calculators just completely miss: projecting your local taxes. A smarter tool can actually help analyze property tax trends in specific zip codes, which can change your monthly payment by hundreds of dollars.
Okay, the whole point of all this boils down to this magic number, 36%.
When you put in your income and your debts, the calculator's main job is to make sure your total DTI, and that includes your potential new mortgage, stays under this critical line. This is the exact threshold lenders use to figure out if you're a safe bet, and honestly, it protects you from stretching yourself too thin.
Ultimately, if you want to win in the 2026 real estate market, you need a new mindset. It's all about shifting away from gut feelings and those emotional decisions and moving toward a disciplined, data-first strategy.
You know, there's a fantastic line from the source material that really just nails this whole idea. It says, by leaning on data-driven tools, you eliminate emotion from the home buying process. It's about turning one of the most emotional choices you'll ever make into one of your most rational ones.
So, we'll end with a question for you. With wages finally outpacing prices and more houses on the market, your buying power is probably a lot greater than you think. But the only way to know for sure is to actually run the numbers yourself. So what will your numbers reveal?